Hey everybody, welcome back to Cuddles R Us. So today we're going to be breaking down a massive update for Dune Awakening, and this one changes everything in the deep desert. PvE players, PvP grinders, spice hunters, there's something here for everyone. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Remember, if you get something from this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications so that you can be with us at the latest patch drops. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So our first section here is we're going to start with the deep desert changes. This is the biggest shakeup yet. The southern half of the deep desert is now officially PvE territory. That means if you're not into PvP, you can still farm, explore caves, and hit Imperial testing sites without worry. But, and it's a big but, control points and shipwrecks are still PvP, so no matter where they are. So you'll run into localized PvP pockets inside that PvE zone, just like in the Haga Basin, to keep the risk versus reward balance. The further north you go, the better the loot and the resources, but it is all PvP. The biggest spice fields, the dense resource clusters, and the most control points are all up north. So if you do want to get those massive bonuses and you want to find those big resources, you will still have to go in the PvP, but this change does allow PvE players to have a chance at getting MK6 materials. So it's really exciting there. I know there is a lot of feelings either way in this case. Some people love the idea, some people hate the idea. It depends on what side you're on. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you are a person who is excited about this or a person who is not excited about this. I would love to hear what you have to say and kind of see your point of view. Me personally, I kind of like the change, but you know, I can see the point of view from other people who are PvPers. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Let's go ahead and continue on. So in this update, loot has also been rebalanced as well. In the PvE area, each player gets individual loot, so you can expect one schematic each. But in the PvP zones, it is still first come, first served. But you will find 2 all the way to 6 schematics of some of the rarest items in the game. Just a few important notes though. Plasteel plates can only be found in PvP zones. Titanium and Stravatium spawns less frequently in PvE and now take longer to respawn, so 45 minutes instead of 30. Also, medium spice fields have been reduced from 8 to 5, small spice fields increased from 20 to 22, and PvE hotspots have now fewer nodes. So plan your routes. So even though they did open up the deep desert to more PvE, resources are still going to be scarce, and you still are only going to find the massive things when you get to the PvP area instead. So they're not forcing you to PvP, but they are saying, all right, so you have more PvE area, but you're going to have less resources. They're going to respawn at fewer times. And so you have access to it, but if you really want those massive number of, materials, you're going to have to go north. You're going to have to go in the PvP zone. So I guess we'll have to see kind of how everybody accepts this in the community. Me personally, I think it was a positive change. I look forward to, feeling this shake up a little bit. And I expect some good things from this. Now, we'll just have to wait and see though. Now, just like it was reported in the last set of patch notes, they did change some vehicles around. So let's talk about those Ornithopters. Now, equipping a rocket launcher module now reduces the top speed of Ornithopters. The Scout Ornithopters get a negative 20%, and the Assault Ornithopters get a negative 10%. Also, exiting mid-air. Your Ornithopter now drops straight down instead of gliding off into oblivion. So hopefully no more accidental skydives without a parachute. I don't know about you guys, I have done that on way too many occasions, and I am just not proud to admit how many times I have sent my poor Ornithopter off like a paper airplane because my fingers happen to be on that E key. So now instead of it just shooting off, it will drop. So that would be really good. Well, it will be really good unless you happen to be over quicksand. That would probably be pretty bad if it shot straight down. If you did that, at that point, you're cooked. But there is one known issue with this update. If your vehicle does land in quicksand, you may not be able to interact with it unless you're standing right on top of it. The devs know a fix is coming soon, so I could expect, a hot patch coming this week at some time. So there were also some big quality of life improvements that came with this patch as well. So you can actually now visit and claim land at any siege in your world. There's absolutely no more restrictions. Now, there are positives and negatives with this. Positives, you can move, no issues. But the only negatives is the fact that I'm wondering if we're going to see some sieges kind of blossom and get a little overpopulated, so that may add to your queue times overall if a lot of people choose to move to your siege. We'll have to kind of see where this comes, but I don't know about you guys. I've noticed actually a decline in my siege's population. So hopefully this actually, weeds out some of the less popular sieges and allows more players to come together who are still playing Dune in order to continue, having more interactions with people around in the world. Also, player reporting has been added. You can now report toxic behavior directly from your chat or the player inspect menu. So if you see somebody just being completely toxic, instead of logging out, feel free to report them. The devs do care and they want us to all enjoy the game. Now, like I said before, they can't fix things they don't know about, so make sure that you are reporting that toxic behavior if you see fit. So in our last section here, there was a round of technical fixes and polish. So there was stability improvements and updated NVIDIA driver supports. They fixed the infinite loading issues and freezes between the deep desert servers. So now grant you, I would take that with a grain of salt because I feel like they've already told us they fixed that before and we still continue to see those server mesh issues. But, like I said, devs can't fix something they don't know. So if you do happen to hit that server mesh and have an issue with freezing or whatever, just make sure you report it so they can fix it. But hopefully this will be the last one they have to fix. There was also a combat bug where the melee attacks were getting blocked by corpses. That should be fixed now. There was also UI fixes, their faction alignment, the black screens, the missing schematic info. That has all been addressed and patched. There was also a travel bug with Ornithopter's pilot services that was going on. That is fixed as well. And yes, you can no longer lose emotes when you respec. So hopefully if you lost those emotes, they will no longer be, lost as you're respecking across your character. So that's pretty much it for this update. And honestly, I feel like it's a huge step forward for balancing PvE and PvP in Dune Awakening. So if you're farming spice or hunting schematics, you're going to want to rethink your strategy. Let me know in the comments, are you going to be sticking to the safer south of the deep desert, or are you going to be risking it all to the PvP north? I'd like to know. I think I'm going to be sticking kind of south, in the PvE area, but I'm planning on journeying a little bit more into the PvP. In all honesty, I feel like this update actually made me want to go to PvP a little bit more, since now that I'm not forced into it. And, hopefully other players feel like me. So if you feel like me, let me know what you think in the comments below. But if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here at Cuddles R Us for more Dune coverage. I'll see you in the deep desert, guys. Stay safe. Bye!